Hello there! You are watching Chapter 15 of my TearRing Saga Champions of Utena Low Turn Count playthrough. This chapter is generally a very simple one, but I'm going to overcomplicate it quite a bit because I'm worried at this point about Naron's experience gain, and we need to patch that up a bit in order to get him to promote when he needs to. There are only two enemy units on this map. They are two recruitable units called Frau and San, so we need to make sure that they stay alive. That means that Naron is going to have to be very careful about how he goes about getting experience points in this chapter. I'll discuss Frau and San as units in a bit more depth in a later video, because this is a very short chapter. In the preparations menu, we have a couple of items to do. Vega is taking a hero crest because he's finally going to promote on this map, while Naron is grabbing a javelin, which I'm actually bringing because it's more inaccurate than a pylon. My goal for this chapter was for Naron to get 3 rounds of combat over the course of it, for a total of 60 experience points. The way I do this is by first having him move up to attack Frau, the Pegasus Knight, for the first round of combat. On enemy phase, none of our units will counterattack either Frau or San, so that means that we can get free experience without risking their deaths. The outcome of this first combat with Frau determines how I move Holmes on this turn. If I were to miss Frau, Holmes would move 1 tile short of his full movement and then go directly above Naron. This would allow me to surround Plum with ally units at 2 range in order to prevent her being targeted by Frau, and that causes Frau to go for Naron for the second combat round of the chapter. Because I hit Frau, she is instead going to fly up and heal, which means that San would then move in to attack Holmes. And if Holmes was immediately above Naron at that point, that would mean he would be blocked off, which we do not want because we can't recruit San without recruiting Frau, and we obviously don't want to kill her either. So because of that, I instead move Holmes his full movement and have Plum dance him so that he moves to 1 diagonally left and up from Naron. This means that San is able to move to attack Naron for the second round of combat in this chapter, and Holmes is then unimpeded in getting to the seize point. Because San is not going to be counterattacked by Naron, she is going to be at full health at the start of the next player phase, allowing Naron to attack her for the third combat round of the chapter, with no risk of San being killed. At the start of this turn, if Frau had attacked Naron last turn, we would be recruiting Frau with Martel in order to turn her blue and allow Holmes to reach the seize point on this turn. In any event, we would be attacking San with Naron on this turn to get the third round of combat that he needs in order to reach level 10 in the time that we need him to. We deployed Atrom on this chapter because he is needed to recruit the third unit in this map, and that's Lyria, who is now going to demonstrate why she's a useful unit by getting an RNG refresh in on Naron. I'll go into more detail on the mechanics of this in the next chapter because it's going to be very important for the duration of the run. Lyria has some other tricks up her sleeve too, beyond just being a staff user, so there's lots to say about her that I'm not going to be able to fit in this short video, because Holmes is now seizing the map in order to complete it in 2 turns. We didn't recruit San and Frau on the map in this clear, but that's okay, because after the chapter they join regardless, as long as they both survived. That's all for this video, so I'll see you next time.